Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bill Levinson, managing partner with Levinson and Associates. With me today, we have Joseph Loughran, our marketing vice president. And then we have our feature presenter, Mr. Joe Ross. So for those of you who haven't heard of Joe or haven't listened to him speak, he is hands down, bar none, my favorite life insurance trainer slash coach in the industry today. Okay, and even better news, Joe is going to be speaking live at our expo for 2019. So May 10th, 2019, you'll see him presenting live, and I promise you, his webinar trainings are awesome, second to none, but in person, live, he brings it to a whole nother level, okay? I promise you that, and folks, if you don't think the way that I'm talking right now after Joe's done speaking at our expo on May 10th, please come see me after he's done, and I have a nice little prize for you, okay? That's how much I believe in Joe and the way that he trains and teaches agents how to sell life insurance products. So he also works with the AIG team, okay? A-rated AIG has some awesome products and concepts that Joe's going to touch on. The neatest thing is, in fact, the topic of today's presentation, if you look at the top of the slide, is die too soon, live too long, get sick along the way, 3 concerns with 1 solution. We talk about the new way of selling life insurance, okay? Now, if you've been around a long time, okay, and I've been around, let's see, I was born in 75. I started in the business 22 years ago with Kerry, my father. And, you know, the old school train of thought with selling insurance is, yes, you have to protect your spouse, but unfortunately, the insured and usually the owner doesn't see the benefit. Yes, it's peace of mind, his or her family is taken care of, but the insured doesn't see any rewards from the policy. Well, today, it's a whole new ball game. And yes, I know you've heard this term before. It's kind of been beaten to death a little bit along the way, but when you hear Joe Ross present this concept and give you some new sales ideas and great products to go along with it, you'll feel totally different and you'll have a new story to tell, okay? If you have an existing block of business, this is a great chance to go back and tell the new story and talk about the new kind of life insurance. If you don't have a block of business and you're a green agent, let's say, you're brand new to the industry, by the time you hear Joe speak, you'll have some new ideas to go out and start prospecting by using some of our technology, CRM tools, marketing pieces, everything that Joe is speaking about. We have flyers and brochures to go along with it. In fact, we're going to include that in today's thank you email that will go out to all attendees. Okay, so real quick, just want to mention one thing. The end of today's presentation will be done before 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to announce the free tablet winner, okay? And it's number 300. So if you were the 300th registrant, we will announce your name at the end of today's webinar live on the call, and we will mail you out your free, we have the new Kindle Fire tablet, okay, that we'll send out as soon as we're done here today. Also, I'm going to mention something else, and then we'll dive in here. Real quick, you must take out a pen and paper. If you're using an iPad notes, that's fine, but jot down questions, comments, feedback. We want to know what your feelings are, okay? Good, bad, and different. We built these trainings for you. Okay, so if you like them and you keep coming back, obviously that's a win-win. And if there's something you didn't like, please share in the comment box or after the call's over. Okay, and we will do our best to make these bigger and better every single week. You know, it's all too often, and I had a thought yesterday, and I'm just going to mention this quickly. So, you know, I'm driving down the road. I left the office at night here. And I'm in my car going down the expressway, and we get off the exit, and I'm cruising along at about 55 miles an hour, 57 miles an hour, in a 50 mile per hour speed zone. Okay, so I'm going about 7 miles an hour over the speed limit. And all of a sudden, a cop pulls out, comes right behind me, literally right on my bumper, and I'm freaking out. Not that I did anything wrong. Maybe I'm going a little too fast, but, it's not like I'm drinking or doing anything illegal. So long story short, I slow down to 48 miles an hour in a 50. So I drop about 10 miles an hour, make sure my seatbelt's secure. I sit up straight, make sure I'm in the middle of the lane. And next thing you know, the cop turns off. Okay. And for the rest of that night, I stayed, doing 2-3 miles an hour under the speed limit. I stood up straight and made sure I was right in the middle of the lane. But guess what? Tomorrow or the next day, okay, which is this morning, I'm driving to work. And of course, what do you know? Again, 7-8 miles an hour over the speed limit. I'm sitting back, hanging out, listening to my podcast. And I said to myself, why did this wear off so quickly? Like here I am last night, I'm driving a couple miles an hour under the speed limit. I'm making sure I'm paying attention. And here, not even 24 hours later, I'm right back to the old Bill. Okay. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because you're going to listen to a great training webinar. And most of you, unfortunately, are going to forget about everything that we're talking about. Okay, that's human nature. So my advice is write it down. Keep these notes in front of you. Make sure every single day you're in the right mindset. You have reminders, okay, in a place that you see every day. I can't stress it enough. If you're not in the right place, not with the right energy, you're not going to make any sales. People don't want to talk to a downer. So stay in the zone, okay? For me, the zone would have been staying at the speed limit or under, and unfortunately, the next day, I obviously went a little over the speed limit, and I wish I stayed back in that place, but at least I observed it and I knew what I did wrong. So let's all make sure we stay in that zone, okay? So with that said, I'm gonna move forward here. We all want to stay in the zone. You can even write that down as a reminder, but anything to bring you back to that happy place because you're going to make more sales and help more people. Okay, with that said, podcasts I love. They have changed my life. Every morning on the way to work and when I leave the office here at night when I'm doing the speed limit, I have my podcasts in and playing in the car and at the gym, okay? With that said, great way to get free advice, free coaching. It's huge these days. So I am starting my own podcast for Levinson and Associates. I'll have my own channel called The Bill Levinson Experience. We are starting this within the month. In fact, my first guest speaker is actually my mentor of 22 years. His name is Jeffrey Levitets. He was just named the Cleveland Clinic Man of the Year. He's a Forbes 500 guy. Has a huge business, started from the ground up. He also was the assistant coach for the U.S. wrestling team. He's our first guest speaker. Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about insurance, but we're mainly going to talk about running a business in sales and marketing in 2018 and moving into the future. So he's going to be our first guest on the podcast channel. Keep your eyes peeled. This is going to be awesome, folks. I promise you, I will not let you down, okay? That's my promise to all of our agents. All right, moving forward, speaking of marketing and sales in 2018 and into the future, this was our latest feature in the Insurance Newsnet. They do an annual issue called the Tech Guide. We were one of 2 companies that were featured, so we're very proud of this. The article is called What to Do When Insurance Goes Amazon. So we have put together a complete direct-to-consumer platform. Now, when I say D2C, direct-to-consumer, we have built a platform so you, the agent, can go direct to consumer. Everything's online. We have over 10 products that we're launching with. It's called Sell While You Sleep. We have this up and running today, and the official Amazon type platform will be up and running by December, January. So we're about 4 to 8 weeks away. Check out the article. And what's neat, no one else is doing this. Okay, we're going to be the first out of the gate. And if you think about Amazon, okay, and if I told everybody to raise their hands if they've ever went shopping on Amazon, 90% of you would raise your hand if we were live in front of you. So it's so important, okay? Think Amazon, now think insurance products. That's going to be your own platform that you can market to prospects and clients online. So wait until you see this stuff. I promise, once again, third promise of the day, we will not let you down. With that said, we're going to jump into our agency automator tech platform. So we have built some awesome stuff. If you're using the Sell While You Sleep platform, or you have your own website and products, if you sell health insurance, P&C, whatever it is, take advantage of our latest technology. Joe's going to show you a new VIP feature that we've just added. We're going to have a webinar to launch it in the next couple of weeks. Joe's going to give you a little teaser.
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So the Agency Automator platform, of course, is our CRM platform we built from the ground up. Not only includes your very own agent website, also a built-in recruiting tool, a virtual assistant, and a way for you to do some great online marketing for really just pennies of what it would normally cost for a lot of these big firms. So one new addition I want to mention very briefly here is the addition of the VIP service. You'll see on this screen, not only do we give you access to that Agency Automator platform, but we've just made it even easier to use this platform to completely automate your entire marketing platform. So not only will you get the Agency Automator platform, but that VIP service will help you build an online marketing plan, set up your CRM, set up all your recurring emails so your clients will receive birthday emails, holiday emails, policy deadline, anniversary, conversion deadlines, all those automated hits that are going to actually result in more activity for you as an agent. So they'll also assist you with building and sending your campaigns, also setting up your SureWork zip code or referral campaigns, which is a great part of that automator platform. And you'll even be able to send CRM campaigns using your own email address. So really a great new addition to the automator platform. Even if you're already an automator user, you can take advantage of these VIP services. Like Bill said, we're going to be launching this in the next couple of weeks, so look out for that email. You can take a look at all those new features that are going to be rolling out. Also, real quickly here before we dive into the presentation, I want to make sure everyone's aware of our Top Closer Sales Contest. This is both for life and annuity production. This actually started in October. It goes all the way to the end of the year. And what we're doing is we're actually rewarding our top 3 producers during that time period. And what we're doing here is for first place, that agent that is in first place between October to the end of the year is going to receive an all expenses paid trip down here to South Florida. You'll actually be our guest for the full weekend, and you'll be presented an award at our annual expo, which again is in May of 2019. Second place receives a $500 cash bonus, and third place receives the new Apple iWatch. So what's great about this contest is even if you just got started with the agency or you're just getting ramped up, you know, everybody starts at 0 in October, so you have until the end of the year to write your life and annuity business to qualify for any one of those incentives. So we're really excited about that platform. We will send out all details in this afternoon's reminder email.
Okay, good stuff, Joe. So by now, I'm sure some of you are probably scratching your head when you hear Agency Automator, a CRM tool, and you need to find a way to get out there and market these new concepts and the new kind of life insurance, right? That pays while you're alive. So what we did is we listened to our agents, of course, and we put together a neat white paper, okay, that we'll include in today's thank you email so everybody can read up on this. But we talk about finding leads, prospects, clients in a new tech-driven world by utilizing the free website builder and CRM tools. And we have the Agency Automator system where you can download 1,000 new prospects every single month for free, okay, in your zip code. Or if you want to dial in, you know, I want to market to, let's say, families with newborns that have a combined household income of 6 digits a year or more, the system will spit out names, numbers, emails, and addresses for you. So we have some neat stuff, but you have to at least understand the basics to get your arms wrapped around this. So check out the new white paper that we just put together. It's going to help bring you to the next level, I promise you. Okay, moving forward here, and I know I get a little long-winded sometimes, so I apologize, but I want to mention before I introduce Joe here, that obviously Joe is with AIG, top company. In fact, we are having our best year ever with AIG for 2018. 2018. We're one of their top IMOs this year, so very, very proud of that. If you're with us with AIG or AGLA, great. If you're not, take advantage of the cash for contracting incentive. We match or will beat your existing grid. Plus, you get anywhere between $100 and $400 cash with your first application. Okay, so run with this stuff. That's above and beyond all of the other carrier incentives and Levinson incentives that we put together for you. So great opportunity to earn a few extra bucks. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce our feature presenter. Like I said, my favorite trainer in the industry, Mr. Joe Ross with AIG. Joe?
Thanks, Bill and Joe. I really appreciate that introduction. And for all of the folks that are on the line today, you may not have the opportunity to stick your nose under the tent of a lot of different BGAs, but that is my life. Every day I'm out on the road. I'm traveling 40 weeks a year, and I'm working with BGAs from all over the country. And I can only tell you with a great vote of confidence that you are aligned with one of the most tech-savvy, most knowledgeable, and most innovative marketing organizations anywhere in the country when you're doing business with Levinson and Associates. So congratulations for all of you being here, and candidly, with all I see and all the different BGAs, this is really a forward-thinking and phenomenal organization. And if you want to grab the future, you want to grab it with Levinson and Associates. And thanks to Bill and Joe for the opportunity to be here today. You know, what inspires me to do what I do is I get to get up every day and help hundreds of agents who help thousands of clients that help hundreds of thousands of beneficiaries achieve financial security and independence. And if that doesn't get you out of bed, I don't know what does. And what we do as agents and advisors to our clients, something that I think most of you notice, some of you on the call may be relatively new to the business, some of you more veteran to the business. I think you'll all notice that when you get into this business, a lot of times it's because somebody somewhere told you that you have a chance to make a lot of money doing this. And you get into the business thinking, I'm going to increase my income and the sky is the limit. I can earn as much money as I want. And all of that's true. And so you get into the business, and the opportunity to earn that income is what drives you. It gets you out of bed every day because you want to get up, get going, and make some money. And at the end of the day, you could say that it's your income that's driving your purpose. But for the veterans on the line, you probably noticed that somewhere in your career you made a transition where you got to the point where your income no longer drives your purpose. It's your purpose that drives your income. That purpose of being able to help those thousands of clients that help hundreds of thousands of beneficiaries achieve financial security and independence because of the incredible work that you do. And today's conversation is just one more step in that process. We're going to talk about how you can help people achieve financial security and independence using life insurance as part of their portfolio. And this is truly life insurance you don't have to die to use. Attributable to Bill's opening comments, this is really life insurance that's designed to create benefits not just for the beneficiaries, but for the insured as well. This will completely change the way people think about life insurance. So I want you to share this story with your clients to help them understand the purpose for permanent life insurance, and also how this insurance can benefit their insureds, the clients themselves, not just the beneficiaries. Because for the first time in the history of the life insurance industry, it truly is life insurance that you don't have to die to use. What I would suggest is that we are revolutionizing why people buy life insurance, and we're revolutionizing how life insurance is being sold. And how we're doing that is by changing life insurance from an expense into an asset. Most of your clients would think that the money they spend on insurance products, whether it's auto insurance, homeowners insurance, disability income, health insurance, they all think that that's an expense. Every time they write those checks, it kind of hurts because it's an expense, because they're literally not getting money back from those programs. But in this scenario, your client has the opportunity to be guaranteed a way to get back 2, 3, or 4 times as much money as they paid into it. And this has never before been possible in the life insurance industry. And when your client can get back 2 or 3 or 4 times as much money as they paid into it, they suddenly start looking at this kind of life insurance not as an expense, but as an asset that they can use throughout their lives to attain financial independence and security. So today, you have the opportunity to become a part of this next generation of life insurance. So we're going to be talking about how we're revolutionizing the life insurance industry by talking about how we can turn illiquid life insurance death benefits into a liquid pool of money that your clients can spend on virtually anything. And this is key. Illiquid death benefits turned into a liquid pool of money, and your clients can spend that liquid pool of money on virtually anything so that they can achieve a higher sense of financial security during retirement. That is a mouthful. But as big a mouthful as that is, this could be your elevator speech. When you're sitting at the next party and somebody bumps into you at the punch bowl and says, "So what do you do for a living?" You have two choices. You can say, "I sell life insurance," and you can stand there by the punch bowl and drink by yourself. Or you can say, "I show people how to turn life insurance death benefits into a liquid pool of money that they can spend on virtually anything so that they can achieve a higher sense of financial security during their retirement." And you'll have people saying, "What did you just say?" And they'll want to know more. So use this to your advantage. I begin our conversation today with a story that some of you may have seen before. If you have, like Bill said, you may have forgotten it. You fell out of your zone and you need to see it again. And for others, this is a brand new story, but it talks about the purpose for permanent life insurance. Here you can see to the left, I've got your pre-retirement risks, and to the right, I've got your in-retirement risks. And if you were going out to talk to a young couple about life insurance, you would be telling them they need life insurance because if either spouse dies, they want to make sure that their kids go to college. You want to make sure that they can pay off the mortgage so that they can stay in that house. And you tell them that they need to replace the working parent's income so that the family can continue to live the lifestyle they've become accustomed to. In this simple diagram, which I'm going to encourage you to memorize, and when Bill said take some notes on this. Draw this diagram on a piece of paper. You'll be drawing it again for your clients in the very near future. All three of these are sloping downward to the right because as you get closer to retirement, all three of these risks are getting smaller and actually going away. By the time you're retired, you probably don't need death benefits to put your kids through college. They're probably in their 30s by then. They're already in their careers. They're out of college. Your mortgage has been paid down, probably close to paid off if it isn't already. And as far as income replacement is concerned, well, that's kind of the definition of retirement. You're not working anymore. You're not generating work-related income. You don't have work income to replace anymore. So the story here is that by the time you get to retirement, the three risks that parents worry about the most are pretty much gone. And this is a pretty easy story for us as life insurance agents because we can tell clients we just need to buy a nice 20 or 30-year term insurance policy that gets you out to age 65 or 70, and the job is done. All of your big risks have been taken care of. The problem is many people don't realize that there are three other big risks that get larger over time on the other side of the rainbow. And this is where permanent life insurance becomes a critical part of your client's overall financial plan. The first thing we'll talk about, the first major risk during their retirement years is financial risks. And in the world of financial risks, there's a lot of them. There's things like, ever heard of a stock market correction? If you know anything about retirement income, you would know that if your client is taking income from a portfolio and encounters a stock market correction during their distributions, it's devastating to their portfolio. And some people think, yeah, that'd be bad if that happened. Well, I got news for you. The stock market corrects about once every 7 to 10 years. If your client's going to be retired for 20 or 30 years, they're not going to be an if they see a stock market correction, not even when. It's going to be how many times. They may see 3 or 4 or maybe 5 stock market corrections during their retirement that could destroy their portfolio. That's one of the financial risks. Home ownership expenses, when they have to replace furnaces, air conditioners, water heaters, roofs, flooring, windows, all of those things, extremely expensive. And when they spend that money, it's kind of like a stock market correction to their portfolio. Low interest rates have people dipping into their principal of their investment portfolio during retirement because they can't generate enough interest from their portfolio to live on in today's low interest rates. What about tax rates in the future? If tax rates go up, that means a retiree's life just got more expensive, and that means they have to withdraw more money from their portfolio than they thought they would have to withdraw so that they can pay the increased taxes and still pay their living expenses. Just think of what these things are doing to the value of your client's portfolio during retirement. Lots of people get to retirement and realize they haven't saved enough. They're going to try to get by anyway. And then one of these first 4 things happens to them. A stock market correction, furnace and air conditioner need to be replaced, tax rates go up, and all of a sudden their portfolio is hugely at risk. And lastly, a lot of people spend a little more than they should when they retire because they're feeling, healthy and vitality, and they want to have some fun. And the next thing you know, in their first 5 years of retirement, they probably spent more than they should. Those are the financial risks. And I got news for you. Your clients probably won't encounter just one of these 6 risks. They will most likely encounter 3 or 4 or 5, possibly all 6 of these risks in their retirement years. And if they all happen, or if more than one happens, it's truly a financial calamity just waiting to happen for your clients. And the question is, when does your client find out that these kinds of things have caused enough of a problem to their portfolio that they're truly in trouble? For most retirees, it's when it's too late. They can't go back to work. They can't do anything about it. And now they're in real trouble. And that's just one of the 3 risks in the retirement years. The second one is one we're all familiar with, healthcare costs. Healthcare is getting very expensive over time. Inflation increases the cost of healthcare at a more rapid rate than the general inflation in the economy. And also, the other reason why this line is sloping upward as it moves to the right is because the older you get, the more healthcare you use. So remember, when you're talking to clients about healthcare in retirement, it's not just about inflation, it's also about utilization. The older you get, the more healthcare you use, and that's expensive. And the third one on the list is Social Security income. When my dad died 5 years ago, the Social Security checks coming into my mom's mailbox went down by $15,000 a year. I got news for you. She did not like that pay cut. She did not see that one coming. And if she outlives my dad by 10 years, that'll be a $150,000 hole in her portfolio. These 3 financial risks on the right can be devastating. So here's the big picture takeaway. If you can draw this diagram, my wife affectionately calls this the butterfly diagram because it looks like butterflies' wings on the sides. When you're talking to your clients about these 3 risks on the left that are getting smaller and smaller over time, your clients that are under 65 years old don't have any inkling that they're going to be dead before they're 65. And they're probably right. Odds are they're not going to be dead before they're 65. So the life insurance you're buying for these risks on the left is life insurance for if your client dies. Whereas this life insurance on the right, that has to be there. It's life insurance for when you die, no matter when that might be. Because what's going to happen with this death benefit on the right is that these 3 things on the right will take a hit out of your client's portfolio, but then the life insurance will come back to restore the value of that portfolio. And the magic of our conversation today is I'm going to show you how to bring this butterfly chart to life by showing you how this unique new life insurance strategy, where you can die too soon, live too long, or get sick along the way, can all be handled. 3 problems, 1 solution, and it'll bring this butterfly chart to life. So you'll see that more in just a second. So what are the 3 key parts to this program? First, we got death benefits. We said, what happens if you die too soon? If you die too soon, you got death benefits. The primary chassis of this solution is a guaranteed death benefit universal life insurance policy. It has guaranteed premiums, guaranteed death benefits, and with AIG, it has 2 options for guaranteed return of premium. If you want to cash in your policy at the end of 20 years, regardless of whether there's any cash value in it, we will give you back 50% of your premiums, no questions asked. Wait 5 years longer, cash in your policy in the 25th year, we'll give you back 100% of the premiums you paid, no questions asked. You could essentially have free life insurance for 25 years. And if you decide you no longer want it, get all your money back and just move forward. If you decide you want to keep it, just keep on going. This is the backbone of this solution. If you die too soon, death benefits come from the guaranteed death benefit life insurance policy. Now, on top of that, we're going to add a couple of riders. The first rider we're going to add is the Accelerated Access Solution. This is the name that has been given to AIG's Chronic Illness Rider. And with our Chronic Illness Rider, which is one of the few that's approved in the state of Florida, it's kind of hard to find chronic illness riders approved in the state of Florida. We have one of the only ones. Our Chronic Illness Rider with AIG allows you to choose 3 different ways to receive your benefits if you find out that you are cognitively impaired or impaired by virtue of your activities of daily living, or ADLs. You could have up to 2% of your death benefit per month, up to 4% of your death benefit per month, or you can choose the third option that doesn't have a percentage limitation. It pays whatever the HIPAA per diem limit is at the time you go on claim, no matter what that might be. Today, that limit is about $125,000 a year that you could get out of your policy using that per diem option. giving you even more flexibility. You get to choose one of these when your client purchases a policy. When does this per diem come into play? Well, let me show you just a cute example here that shows you how it works. So with this per diem option, the maximum amount we'll pay out at any given point in time is the monthly, the total death benefit divided by 12 months. So if you take the maximum benefit of 100% of your total death benefit divided by 12 months, the answer is 8.3%. 100% divided by 12 equals 8.3% per month. So with AIG, technically you can have a 2% per month option, a 4% per month option, or an 8.3% option. Now that 8.3% option is significant because no other carrier in the United States goes that high. No other carrier in the United States has that much liquidity and access to your death benefit. And let me give you an example of what that could mean. You just sold a $300,000 death benefit to your client and snapped on the 2% rider. That meant that your client could go on claim, they can receive up to $6,000 per month. If you instead opted for the 4% benefit, okay, $300,000 death benefit times 4% gives them access to $12,000 per month, which is right in the neighborhood of today's per diem limit. But that per diem limit continues to go up with inflation over time. So you're going to be way behind the HIPAA limit if you go on claim 10, 15, 20 years from now. So if you're a 50-year-old client, they're probably not going to go on a claim for chronic illness until they're in their 80s. They could be way below the HIPAA limit. If you added the third option, you'd be able to take their $300,000 death benefit and divide it by 12 months. You could have $25,000 per month and literally liquidate that entire death benefit in 1 year. All three ways you get the same $300,000 maximum limit. The question is, how fast do you want to be able to get at your money? Nobody does it faster than AIG with its per diem option. Great benefit. What else can you know about our chronic illness rider? First of all, it's a chronic illness rider, not a long-term care rider. So you do not need a long-term care license to be able to sell this particular rider. There had been some concern that chronic illness riders required that the impairment has to be permanent, but AIG had the first rider in the industry. There are several more that have now followed suit, but we had the first in the industry that allowed an indemnity-based chronic illness rider that will pay temporary claims. So your client could actually get better and move on, and the policy stays in force. It's an indemnity-based benefit, so you don't have to get reimbursed. Why is this critical? If you're selling a policy or a rider that has a reimbursement benefit, that means that there has to be some receipts involved. Somebody has to show the insurance company that money has been spent in order to receive benefits. The problem with that is that statistically, 80% of the people receiving long-term care today are receiving it from a loved one at home. And those loved ones can't generate a receipt for the services they provide. So there's no ability to collect from the policy. With AIG, because it's an indemnity benefit, as soon as your doctor determines that you are either cognitively or ADL impaired, we start sending you checks every single month, and you can spend that money on anything you want. No receipts required. We have the highest limit in the country at 8.3%. It's only 4% for California. So if any of you are in California, you got a 4% limit. You've got the 2 and the 4. We do have a maximum chronic illness benefit that's among the most generous in the industry at $3 million of chronic illness benefit, and you can buy death benefits that are up to double that amount. So with AIG, you could have a $6 million death benefit with a $3 million chronic illness benefit on an indemnity basis without a chronic illness rider up to 8.3% per month. That's a really generous benefit. Nobody in the industry can match all of that. So that's part 2 of the solution. Remember, part 1 is the death benefit. Die too soon, you get the death benefit. Get sick, you get the chronic illness benefit. What if you live too long? This is where AIG is truly unique because no one else has this. We have a rider that I call our longevity rider. The real name for it at AIG is the Lifestyle Income Solution. It's designed to allow you to accelerate up to 10% of your death benefit every single year, as primarily if you live to age 85. And this is the thinking that goes behind this. If you die early, you're going to get your death benefits and your beneficiaries will be taken care of. If you get sick, you're going to go into a nursing home or receive care at home. If you're cognitively or ADL impaired, we'll start sending you checks. And then thirdly, if you didn't die and if you didn't get sick, then you're probably living longer than you expected and you're healthy. And that means you're putting a lot of pressure on your portfolio. Remember those financial risks we talked about? Stock market corrections, home ownership expenses, tax rate increases and all of those things, you might be running out of money. If that's happening to you at age 85, you can tell us that you want your death benefit, and we will start sending you 10% of it every month until the policy is exhausted. If you have $1 million death benefit, we'll send you $100,000 a year. Got a $6 million death benefit, we'll send you $600,000 a year for 10 years and liquidate that death benefit for you. If you got a $100,000 policy, we'll send you $10,000 a year every year for 10 years. It's tax-free distribution up to recovery of your premiums. We'll send you a 1099 like it was a withdrawal from your IRA or 401k after that. The two primary requirements for triggering this longevity insurance rider is that, first of all, the policy has to be enforced for at least 15 years. And you can see how that makes sense. We can't issue $1 million policy today and start sending out $100,000 a year tomorrow. We need some time in order to make this work. So the policy has to be enforced for at least 15 years. And at the time you start accelerating the death benefit, the policy must be paid up to age 100, guaranteed to age 100 with no further premiums. So you can actually access your death benefit prior to age 85, but if you wanted to do it at age, say, 75, you have to have all the premiums in by age 75. So it would be a pay to 75, guarantee to 100. Okay, so that's enough crawling around under the hood on the three components. Let's talk about how you sell this stuff. When you're selling this stuff, you can ask your clients, which one of these things will happen to you? Will you die too soon? Will you live too long? Or will you get sick along the way? Which one will happen to you? For some clients, it's all three. Some people will live longer than they expected, then they'll get sick, and then they'll die. But let's walk through a very simple story. Again, this is something you could write out on a cocktail napkin. You might want to draw this picture for you. When you're under 65 years old, you're building your assets for retirement, and your biggest concern is if I die while I'm building those assets, my family won't have enough money to retire on. And if that happens, I've got this life insurance that will pay the death benefits and take care of my family. At age 65, you built up all these benefits. Now what? Well, your biggest risk between 65 and 85 is not running out of money, because you saved all this money planning to retire between 65 and 85. However, if you get sick, what happens? You might run out of money. That is your biggest threat during your normal retirement years, is that you got sick along the way. And now you're going to run out of money paying those medical expenses and nursing home bills. And that is taken care of by the chronic illness rider. And if you didn't die, and if you didn't get sick, and now you're 85 years old, you're probably living longer than you ever thought you would, and that means you're running out of money, and that's where we help you extend your assets and protect you from living too long with the longevity rider. Here's the story. One of these three things is going to happen to you. You're going to die too soon, you're going to live too long, or you're going to get sick along the way. And the beauty of this package of the guaranteed death benefit plus chronic illness rider plus longevity rider protects your client from all three. That, ladies and gentlemen, is true lifetime financial security. We do have a page in our illustration software that you can show to your clients. It prints right out. The team at Levinson can prepare these illustrations for you. This is an example I ran. This is a page right out of the illustration for $1 million death benefit, and it shows your client. On the left, if you die, your beneficiaries get $1 million. In the middle, if you develop a chronic illness, you get $122,000 a year, and on this $1 million policy, it'll take 8 years for you to gobble up the entire death benefit. But if you didn't die and you didn't get sick, then on the right, if you're 85, you could have $100,000 a year every year for 10 years and put that in your bank account and spend it on virtually anything you want. That's what turns life insurance from an expense into an asset, because the insured can draw down that death benefit if they're chronically ill. They can draw down that death benefit if they're perfectly healthy and spend that money while they're alive on virtually anything they want. And so let me bring this in for a landing by going back to the butterfly chart. So when we talk about this butterfly chart, we've got our pre and post-retirement risks. Let me tell you how this product strategy fits right into that. So first thing we have is this death benefit. If you die too soon, it takes care of all three of those risks on the left. If you die later in life, it restores the portfolio with extra value to replace that reduced Social Security income. If you get chronically ill, it takes care of your healthcare costs. If you live longer than you thought you would and you're running out of money, it offsets the impact of all of those financial risks. So here in your butterfly chart story, you can tell your clients that with this product solution, it takes care of all of the risks that you face financially for the rest of your life. so that no matter what happens, you, your family, and your spouse are protected from anything that could go wrong. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how American General Life is revolutionizing not only why people buy life insurance, but how it's being sold. This is your opportunity to become a part of the next generation of life insurance. We have a website that you could visit, retirestronger.com. It has more information about how this strategy works. Your team at Levinson Associates also has all the information that you need. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you on May 10th at the Expo again this year. And with that, I'm going to turn the show back over to Bill and to Joe. We'll put a ribbon and a bow on this experience, and I'll look forward to seeing you all again soon.
That was awesome, Joe. Thank you so much. Now, I hope everyone sees why the excitement was building. We've been talking about this for a month now. Man, is amazing. So I hope everyone learned a lot. The way I look at this, if you picked up one nugget of information that will help you put a sale together, and I believe it's going to help you put a lot of sales together, but just one, it was well worth your time. Okay, we have about 5 minutes left, and then we're going to announce the tablet winner. So also, before I forget, a special warm thank you to everyone joining us today, especially in the middle of your Thursday afternoon. We know how busy you are. Every minute is valuable, and we treasure that. So really, truly, we appreciate you being here with us today. Joe Ross, phenomenal job. Joseph Lochran, thank you for putting everything together. Real quick, to see Joe live, he's one of our keynotes at the Levinson Expo, again, May 10th. You can register now. This is free for everybody. Starting at just $15,000, though, we have a qualification incentive where we'll pay for your room at our beachfront location. Starting at $40,000, we'll pay for airfare, round trip, wherever you are in the country. We take care of meals, everything, all of the above is taken care of. So make sure you get that premium now. Everything counts. You can register now on our website. And one thing I'll say, I said it earlier, Joe is great on a webinar, but when you see him in person, I mean, literally, you're out of your chair, okay? He is that moving. Think like Tony Robbins kind of moving, okay? He's that good, but he's like the insurance version, if you will. Okay, all right, moving forward. Real quick, we're going to talk about upcoming agent training events. So, we know we have an awesome platform. There's nothing else like it. If you're going to be successful these days as a life insurance agent, I don't care how great you know the products and how many people you know, if you're not utilizing technology, you don't have a website at the minimum, you're falling behind, okay? So that's the reason why we put together this whole turnkey platform. So run with this stuff, okay? And if you're not that great with technology, it's okay. You don't have to be a Bill Gates, okay? We have trainings we put together, just like what you're on right now, every single Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and almost every day of the week. We have a training with our programmer, and we keep an open line so you can dive in, ask questions, have your assistant on. The goal is to make sure you're comfortable. If you're 17 years old or you're 84, we want to make sure you know the basics so you can get this stuff up and running. And if you don't have time for this and you don't want to bother, okay, and you want someone to do all of the marketing for you, that's why we rolled out that brand new VIP co-op platform, okay? So either way, no matter what direction or level that you're at today, we have a solution for you. Okay, moving forward here, we have just 2 slides left, and then we're going to end today's call. One real quick tablet giveaway. So the number 300th registrant, okay? And we like to do this every now and then. We hope you load the Levinson free app on your tablet, and hopefully it's on your smartphone, because you can run quotes, you can sign up clients, you can do all of the above right from the mobile app, just like you're at your desktop and you have our Kerry Levinson website up, okay? Same thing, but you can do everything from your smartphone. It's a true no-brainer, free download, everything updated in real-time fashion. With that said, the number 300th registrant, okay, goes to Mr. Allen. Mr. Allen from Ohio, congratulations. We'll mail that out this afternoon. And we're going to end with our Positive Tuesday quote. Now, I was talking earlier about being in the zone. Now, Joe even mentioned it. You know, if you're not in that place, that sweet spot, day in and day out, you're falling behind. And I mean that. No matter what's going on with your personal life, keep that separate. Make sure every morning, I don't care if it's working out, yoga, long walks, church, temple, podcasts, Tony Robbins CDs, whatever it is, make sure you get in that zone day in and day out. I promise you, people will be attracted to you. Other people want to hang out with positive people. Bring the energy. We're going to end with this. Live, give, love, and work like today is the last day of your life. With that said, have a great rest of the week, a good selling, a great Thanksgiving, and take care.